What's the most favorite thing you had to give up because you grew too old for it? Roller coasters. I can't ride them anymore, because I have a bad back, and last time I went to Busch Gardens, I got whiplash from riding all of the coasters. Threw out my back at Disney when I rode The Mummy Returns. Shame too, coasters are one of the only things that make me feel truly alive. The Mummy ride is at Universal. If you're ever at Disney but are thinking of trying their slightly less intense coasters, do not ride the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I don't have back problems, I'm only 5 feet 3 inches, but that ride banged me up so bad. It's as its size for children, so if you're over 5 tall you don't fit right and the ride attacks you for it. Climbing trees. I'm finally tall enough to cover some ground. Original poster replies, the fear of falling and breaking the hip also amplifies with age. That is called rainbow, rational thinking, rainbow, with a dash of joint pain. I used to love sleeping in my closet as a kid. Nestled in there under a bunch of hanging clothes, in a pile of pillows, blankets, and stuffed animals was the most comfy, secure, cave-like feeling ever. So dark too. Those were the days. Original poster replies, sounds peaceful. Not me, closets are too creepy. But I remember being able to nestle under the blankets at the foot of my bed, or under a table, or like partway wedged under a couch cushion. Too big for that now. Staying up super late / all night and still being able to function the day after. Man, I went back to school in my mid / late 20s. I pulled one all-nighter, then I learned how to budget my time. I think I traded in that ability in exchange for my bachelor's. I used to pull one bi-weekly, sometimes multiple days in a row, but not anymore. I'm 33 now and think I'd probably just die around noon on day 2. As a parent, I'll tell you my kid thinks he's fine the next day, but he is far from fine lol. Being a kid, I mean an actual kid and not man-child. Original poster replies, I'm so scared that I'll grow up to be a man-child lol. You won't. The fact that you're concerned about it means you won't grow into a man-child. Liking childish things doesn't make you a man-child. So what if you still like Pokémon, or board games, or Lego, or Nerf guns, or whatever? Embrace it, don't hide who you are. If you like something, that's good enough of a reason to do it. Being a man-child is about never growing emotionally or mentally. A man-child is a man who acts like a child, not a man who likes childish things. Original poster replies, whoa. Definitely taking this to my grave. Notes taken. Definitely take notes from that dude. I just got my tax return today from the big important adult taxes I filed myself, and bought a $200 board game that weighs approximately 300 pounds and is all about playing with the toys and stickers inside. Stay a kid at heart, not at brain. My nieces love hanging out with me because I will do childish things with them when no one else will. Do I want to play on the playground with them? Yeah, I do. Do I want to build Legos with them? You better believe it. Do I want to have a tea party with them? You bet your ass I do. I don't get why so many adults are so afraid to indulge in such things. Who cares if you look ridiculous? I'd rather look silly than not see those kids laughing. A man can like video games. A child won't put them down when it's time to have dinner with his family. My Winnie the Pooh teddy bear. I wish I kept it. I have a bunny plush, named Bunny laughing my butt off, that I've had for almost 28 years. He's in absolute shreds, barely holding together with the strength of hope and dreams. But I still sleep with him every night. One of my friends has a small bunny plush that she's had since she was 2 hours old. Ripped up to shreds and looked a right mess 22 years later. She took it to a quilt shop, crochet shop, sewing store, and got her plush patched up with some of her late dad's favorite flannel. That plush must be alive because I've never seen the little dude so happy. They even reinforced all the limbs and ears to make sure he lasts even longer than before. I know it's not for everyone, I couldn't bear to do it to my plush, but it might be an option for you or anyone else reading this. My mum used to put suits on my chicken toy that was falling to bits. Basically, Would put different material over the body and a hood on the head with ears, and we would choose a different pattern each time. My chicken has been dressed up as a frog, a dog, a giraffe, and many other things. I slept with him until I was 25 and met my now partner, but he stays in the drawer next to my bed for quick cuddle access. My best friend has one of those. She sleeps with it in her bed still. She's 32. Running. One of my knees decided it was too old for it without consulting the rest of me, unfortunately. Man, knees suck. Let's cancel knees. Do it before you're 30 because they cancel themselves, bro. A lot of times, it's a muscular issue and not actual knee damage. If you went to a medical doctor and they told you it was some sort of structural thing, I'd still see a physiotherapist or similar to get their opinion. I had an MD tell me I had dysfunctional hips and would always have a bad back. Went to a physiotherapist and she pointed out left/right glute imbalance. A few months of doing glute exercises and my back was back to normal. Same. Was diagnosed with arthritis in my left knee a while back despite being only 31 at the time. Running was a big part of my life. Even if I wasn't in a training cycle, I'd still average 10 to 20 miles per week. Now I can't run more than 3 miles without intense knee pain for a week after. It's been several years, and although I've been getting more into cycling, I still miss running dearly. Not being in pain. Edit, some context. I worked hard manual labor through my 20s and I bought into a lot of the toxic He-Man crap about not showing weakness, so I didn't use the back braces that were readily available. I also did a ton of overhead reaching with heavy materials, and I regularly lift and twisted with more weight than was proper. Because I was stupid, my back, shoulder, and neck are in poor shape but not yet far gone enough for surgery. It doesn't ruin my life, but it is a regular reminder that what I did when I was younger and thought I was immortal really mattered. I'm 30 and officially have started making noises every time I stretch or bend over to pick something up. I lift weights and maintain a good weight, so it's not even, as I'm out of shape, I'm just getting old. Skeptical. I'm in my 40s, and my body has started making the noises for me. Cougars. She's not a cougar when she's your age. Original poster replies, this is the funniest of the lot. Wait. What do we call the male equivalent of a cougar? Silver fox, or I guess silverback depending on where the hair is. When you realize most girls your age that you're attracted to are technically MILFs. I'm proud to be married to a MILF. If you want a MILF, it's best to make one yourself. Playing with sticks, killing imaginary skeletons and zombies like the badass I was. Original poster replies, I used to make bow and arrows out of sticks and elastic bands and do the same thing, lol. OMG, I kind of used to do that, but I just found a bent stick and had imaginary arrows. Bro, you're an adult, you can buy a real sword. Being an adult with real money and impulsive behavior means, I have several cool swords and no regrets. Bonus fun, have been doing mostly online shopping, so lots of cardboard boxes are around the house. It's so fun to hack and slash at those and pretend I'm cooler than I actually am. Nah, you're as cool as you think you are. Maybe try Dungeons and Dragons? Seems like you have a good imagination and would enjoy it. Watch some people play on Twitch or something and find a group. I strongly agree. I started playing Dungeons and Dragons 3 years ago, at age 35, and my only regret is not trying it sooner. We now play every week, and doing it online through the pandemic has been a real beacon in the dark. Trick or treating. Last time I went, I was 15. I did dress up, but still the looks on people's faces when they opened the door told me it was time to stop. I've had kids that look 16, 17 trick or treating in my neighborhood. Since they usually come by late, they end up with whatever I got left. Which is usually a lot since I overbuy. Had a grandma come by one time dressed as a bee. She explained she always wanted to trick or treat, she was by herself. Edited, sorry, I mean to clarify, she was alone trick or treating, her grandson was the one taking her out, but he was far down the driveway. He seemed to be mid-30s or so. He was just happy to spend time with Granny, I guess. Took me a minute to remember, Edited. Thanks for the rewards, guys. My first ever after 2 years being on Reddit. I would have given her the entire bowl of candy. Just take it. You win Halloween. I would have too, but I was almost out and we don't make much candy since the whole trunk or treat thing took over in my area. Was saving some for the new parents too and big teenagers. That's adorable. Those are the stoners and they know exactly what they're doing. Yep, we were those kids, lol. As a non-American who always romanticized about Halloween, dress up and trick-or-treating, me and my sis always wanted to one day do it, but now we are 25 and 26 respectively and it saddens me that we missed our shot. Edit. Thank you for all the replies. You guys are right, I should definitely not let this stop us. There are many neighborhoods where Westerners live in my city, so I should definitely start there. Disneyland does a Halloween party during Halloween week. People line up to be handed a tiny candy bar to add to your candy sack. It was way more fun than it should have been. And low wait times because it's a limited ticketed event. It's a blast and I have been fortunate enough to do it multiple times. I see some next level costumes there. If anyone's going to outdo himself or herself for a decorated themed event, it's Disney. I remember trick-or-treating with my friends in college and it went fine, so depending on how strong this wish is you could try visiting an American college town for Halloween and see how it goes. Mileage may vary by social awareness, sometimes mine's not great. I was the president of International Club at my college, in the States, and took all our international students trick-or-treating each year. My friends and I took our exchange students Halloween caroling. We just made up revised song lyrics as we went. People didn't seem to mind we were a bit older because we had a solid gimmick. I thought the exact same thing. I grew up in a college town, adult trick-or-treaters were normal. We used to keep airplane bottles of booze around for them. Borrow someone's kid. Man, I tried the same thing at that age. I felt like I never got a real trick-or-treating experience because when I was little, my mom would just load me up in the car and take me to a few of my relatives' houses. We didn't walk from house to house, and I never got to go unsupervised or with other kids. And she made me wear my coat over my costume. By the time I was old enough to be allowed to go out unsupervised, I begged a couple of friends to go with me and they just complained the whole time that it sucked and was gay. Their word choice, not mine. What a letdown. Damn overprotective mom, that sucks. Yeah, being paraded around to pose for pictures in your costume at your relatives' houses kind of stops being fun after like age 6. Original poster replies, I can feel that. Almost same feeling when the teenagers see me wanting to play paintball. I last went my junior year of high school and a lot of people who answered the door got annoyed and said I was too old. Me and my friends didn't get much candy. It's too bad people are like that. I'd happily hand out candy to grown adults if they showed up in costumes. We dress up and give out candy to everyone. Young, old, costume, no costume. My husband offers the parents shots. For sure. A few years ago, a couple and their baby were trick-or-treating. Baby was Chewbacca, dad was Han Solo, mom was Leia. It was cold, windy, and rainy and Leia mom was rocking the long white dress. She must have been freezing and it was the end of the night. I turned the candy bowl upside down and gave them everything I had left. They earned it. Our daughter was 6 months old this past Halloween and she was an excellent cover for us to trick-or-treat again. It's her first Halloween so we have an excuse, but at that age, my wife and I get all the candy. I was also going to suggest that they borrow a friend's baby so they can go trick-or-treating. That's a shame. I like when the big kids come around. You are only young once. Plus, they get the great big handfuls of what's left over so I don't eat it. Not working. For sure. What I wouldn't give for a summer vacation that actually lasted 3 months. I don't think I've had more than 2 consecutive weeks off in like 11 years. I hear you, growing up on a farm, and then going off to college, then a job right away. I know I should be saying I was lucky. My first vacation of more than 8 days in a row in 26 years was 2 years ago. Still haven't had more than 8 days off in a row since. In case that was not clear, 8 days off in a row is like Saturday to Saturday followed by a Sunday. As a teacher, I don't know how people can survive without more than an occasional week-long vacation. Correct me if I'm mistaken, but isn't your whole life basically just working? I realize most people have about 2 days off a week, but if they're anything like me, they spend a lot of that time doing chores, going grocery shopping, etc. Especially if you aren't in love with your job, which sadly most people aren't. When do you have time to enjoy life? This is the existential horror I face every night. My coworkers and I have a running joke about constantly trying to find new and creative ways to kill ourselves. It would probably be really funny if we weren't actually contemplating suicide while on the clock. I did once quit a job because literally never having a day off caused suicidal thoughts for me. A company, like individual people, show you who they really are by how they treat you. If at all possible, quit a company that treats you badly, ASAP. I remember being 15 years old during summer vacation knowing that I was expected to get a job the following summer, and feeling melancholy about it. On one hand, I'm glad I'm much more independent now than I was that summer, but on the other hand, I miss just having all the time to let my mind wander aimlessly without my thoughts being interrupted by prior obligations. I had the weird combo of my parents telling me to get a job and finding out very few places hire under 18. Even crafty fast food jobs wouldn't call back because there are an abundance of uneducated workers who the manager knows won't quit when school starts back up. Yep, I grew up in a small-as town and had summer jobs for every summer after about age 15, and my spouse who grew up in LA wasn't able to find anything at all, too many aspiring actors and surf nomads willing to fill in all gaps. The thing I miss most is that astronomically small window of time between when you start working and when you start taking on bills. That one very short summer where I experienced a level of monetary freedom I never experienced before and have not since. That perfect age of watching almost any movie in the theater, to be able to afford candy, popcorn, and soda without having to share. To buy video games or sports cards. To buy fast food whenever I wanted. If I found the right job or the right friends, I got free tickets, food, or passes. Maybe even an occasional beer if I timed it just right. All in exchange for a mere 20 hours a week part-time job washing dishes. Sobs and being under lockdown during that one magical summer. Hell yeah. Ages 16 to 18 were the best. I had a car and a job and money. My only bills were my cell phone and car insurance. Playing on playground equipment. Why is this only for kids? Why are there not playgrounds for adults? And I don't mean gyms or places that you have to pay to get into. I mean adult-sized play structures that are free to use at public parks. Original poster replies, "'Cause most of us will fall and hurt ourselves lol. Rusty as F." Adult-sized soft play centers, with ball pits, gladiator dual podiums, slides, and a bar. Would sell millions of tickets. Sky Zone is kind of that. There's foam pits, dodgeball, and sometimes dual podiums with foam pits at the bottom and sometimes even obstacle courses. Although, there is trampolines everywhere. Just make sure you go during designated 18+ hours. Me and some friends, all in our early 20s, went there on a random Saturday afternoon 2 years ago, and we were the only people jumping over the age of 12. It was awkward as hell, and we ended up leaving in under 10 minutes. I went with my little cousin once, though different place in Australia. Some dude came up to us and told us we were way too old to be doing this crap and that it was for little kids. My cousin had just turned 13 laughing out loud. I was 19. Original poster replies, "You just gave away your $1 billion idea." I literally get injured from running by itself. I used to love going on the swings, then I got older. Now they give me motion sickness. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.